Good morning. I'm sitting here in my consulting room and I'm looking out the window because it's very cold outside and it looks as if it's going to rain and the clouds are very, very dark. And I'm thinking about all those people who are still smoking. And I used to be one of those people who smoked and had to go outside in the cold and the rain to smoke. And so I'm wondering if you're looking at this video, if you've decided that it's time for you to stay inside in the warmth with friends, with family, in a social event, whatever the case may be, to stay inside and not have to go outside and smoke. So I thought today I'd just like to talk to you about some of the things that you may or may not have thought of, because there were many things that I didn't think of when I was smoking. Things like how much it cost me to smoke. I haven't smoked for 20 years, but nevertheless, in the days when I smoked, it was still very expensive. Nowhere near as expensive as now, of course, but it was expensive. And when you look at the cost today, it's $1 a cigarette. And of course, when you look at what you know today that we didn't know back then, you know today that there are additives in those cigarettes, there are poisons in those cigarettes that you're smoking, that those companies deliberately put in there so that you do become addicted to smoking. And I really struggle with that now that I understand what they do. And I imagine that you might struggle with what they do too, because you know that every cigarette stains your teeth, stains your fingers, makes your breath smell, your hair smell, your clothes smell. Every cigarette puts tar into your lungs so that your lungs are forever working extremely hard to try and cleanse themselves of the muck that you're putting in there. And then eventually they just become too tired and exhausted from continually trying to keep your body functioning, and they succumb to all kinds of diseases. And I don't need to talk to you about the diseases that smoking causes. They're all over the cigarette packets, the advertising that you see on television. You know all too well what could happen, and you probably know somebody who has been affected by some form of cancer that they've suffered as a result of smoking. So I'm not going to labour that point. I think the main thing is the antisocialness of it now, because more and more there are more things that you can't do. You can't even go to the football now and be, say, inside in a stadium and smoke. Very shortly you won't be able to smoke on the streets in the city. There are very few places left where you can smoke. And if you're looking at this, you're probably thinking that you want to give it up, you want to let it go. And that makes me very happy, because I'm very passionate about helping people to let go of this really nasty habit. Some call it an addiction, and certainly it was one that I wanted to let go. I didn't want to be controlled by nicotine. I wanted all addictions out of my life. And it was hard. But I was very motivated, and I'm hoping that you're motivated too. And if you're seriously motivated to give up smoking, then I'm really seriously motivated to help you to do that. And I'm happy for you to call and make an appointment to come and see me, and we can get started on letting go those cigarettes, on butting them out for good, on freeing up some very useful cash that you can do nice things for yourself with, and begin to come inside into the warmth. If you're ready, give me a call, make a time, and we'll get started.